Couldn't break the sleeve off!
Welcome to Golden Score on day 2 of competition at this year's Tbilisi Grand Slam. I'm delighted to be standing alongside former world champion, double Olympic silver medalist, referee, supervisor. We could be here all day. Neil Adams.
Always something happens, isn't there, in this? There's always something that happens. Whether it's at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, something interesting can happen. Well, it's been happening all day.
We had the 4 weight categories. We're going to start with the under 63 kilo category.
Yeah.
This is on these fancy iPads.
Yeah, we're getting fancier and fancier.
I'm taking mine home. I don't know about you.
Yes. Well, I thought they were ours.
Right, okay. You pointed out earlier on in the prelims a particular piece of 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of actually. There was a really lovely skipping 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 in the Esposito did one in the early rounds, and it was just absolutely beautiful, and just caught it on the skip. Let's have a look. Well, just watch how she just chases this. I mean, she'll chase it forwards there, get the direction, and look at that. She takes the far foot there. I mean, it's not like she takes the front foot there. She takes the far foot, but it didn't matter. It was all about momentum and movement and balance and control with the hands there, and she just absolutely drives her flat on her back. Beautiful.
That was
beautiful.
huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, just love it. And then, of course, we had the, it was 2 taps, and, well, he kind of almost said, this is what I'm going to do, and it was almost, well, it was a counter, wasn't it? 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 that caught him. Almost. He actually doesn't touch the leg, but what he does a little twitch, and he goes behind the leg. Just take a look at this.
We're talking about 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦, aren't we?
𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 here. 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 does an absolute belter.
Joshua Green was on the receiving end of this, unfortunately, the Irish boy.
Yeah, look at that. What a change of direction that was there. I mean, you know, he touches the leg twice there, Green, and then he paid the price, because 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 kind of goes once with the hands, and he gets completely taken there, Green, and, well, he just slips on that banana skin, I'm afraid, and nearly touches the ceiling there. Absolutely flat on his back. Beautifully
You were
taken.
talking about the particular point where he just leaves the leg hanging out there. The foot is available.
Yeah, because it just seemed like that, didn't it? It was almost like, here we go, I'm just going to give you a little carrot here, just take the bait. And he did.
Well, we're going to see more of 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 later on, because he ended up being terrific throughout the day. But I'll tell you what, we can look to the under 63 kilo category with Fazlou in the semi-final, that particular ippon, for another big finish.
Yeah, have a look at this one. A really good one. Fazlou, well, in the semi-final, she does this massive 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 to 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝑥, and it's just immense. One of the best I've seen. You know, I likened it to the one that I saw of Moneta. This isn't far off, I tell you. It was massive. Have a look how she gets to the final. Well, she just setting her up here with the hands all the way, gets the big right hand on here, and then it's just, look at this, she sets it up, sets up the right moment there, and absolutely blocks that front leg there, and gets the most massive lift. And of course, you know, Lucy Renchal will be watching this and going, well, I've got to stop that, that's for sure. And it's just huge. They say that 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 is lift-pull. That's exactly what she did.
Slightly unusual execution with the hand on the hip.
Yeah, slightly. I mean, you know, it's a variation of, and but she manages to turn it and control it all the way down, and that's what counts.
Now, you mentioned Lucy Renchal. She's standing a few feet away.
She's not far away.
Yeah, we're going to pull her in, because she was saying, I'm not going to be on the end of one of those.
Yeah, and she wasn't.
Lucy.
So Lucy's going to come in. You've got to stand just in the... Yeah, you're in the middle. So many congratulations, Lucy. Gold medal. And you know what we said? I said, and I've got to say, and I'm really sorry about this, I said, I think it's 4 or 5, and it wasn't. It was 6, wasn't it? 6 Grand Slam, Grand Prix wins. And how did you feel?
Today I felt really cool and calm, like I went into the day quite chilled. I think I've had a good preparation coming into the event, so yeah, I felt good.
Did you have any plans going into that final? Because I just said there, you would have been watching that massive 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯 𝘚𝘤𝘰𝘳, and you know she's physically strong. What were your plans going in there?
I've fought her a few times and we fight in training often, and I just know she's physically really super strong on the right hand side, so just controlling the right hand side and then me controlling my grips and hopefully something coming from it.
Did it follow all the way through with the plan, or did you have to change halfway through?
The gripping was good. I was in control of the gripping, and Jamie had a plan to come out left, post left, and then working it on drops, Marotti, left Marotti, so just changing it up so it's not all right. And yeah, it came through.
What about the knee? I mean, we expected that you would be strong there, and every opportunity you had, you would take advantage of it.
Yeah, in the final, she was super strong on the floor, and I think she probably was aware it was coming. But the whole day, I felt really comfortable on the floor, and it, yeah, I felt ready. I was working the last 2 competitions that I've done. I've not been as sharp, I don't think, on the floor, but today it really paid off.
Okay, have you got a highlight from the day that you really enjoyed?
I think finishing it off on the ground with in my semi-final against the Polish girl, because I tried so many times. I think it was 4 or 5 times that it was just nearly there. One thing was missing, and then eventually I finished it off, and I was really happy.
I think for me, the pressure you put her under, I mean, you know, we're going to have a look at just at the end of it, you know, and how you piled on the pressure, the attacks at the end that, you know, sealed it. And maybe you can just talk us through how you felt on the way through.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Well, just before you start talking there, the concentration.
I felt tired here.
At what point do you decide, right, I've really got to pile the pressure on now? She's about to get the 3rd sheet up.
I think Jamie already told me in the last mate, he was like, you're really on top here, keep going, keep piling in them attacks. And that's what I did. I think it was obvious that I probably would have gone right, so that's why I switched it to the left. Yeah.
Fantastic. When you stand up and then the referee obviously starts to turn towards them, how did you feel then? You thought, right, I've nailed this.
Relieved. It's just happy. It's obviously the final, you'd love to do it with a pon or a big throw or something in 𝘰𝑗𝑠𝑎, but some fights you just go like this, so I was really happy.
Sometimes it's about winning, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
We've seen you on the podium before, you know, on the top spot, singing God Save the Queen. Was this your first time singing God Save the King?
I think it was, yeah.
You got the words right then?
Yeah, I sing them in my head, so I can't get them wrong.
I hope it's something we're going to hear you singing again.
I hope so. I do hope so.
Next month, maybe?
Yes, hopefully.
What's the next one, next event?
Antalya, I think. So I'm booked in for that next week, and then preparation for the World Championships.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations from all of us. Great Britain Great Britain medal, which is gold medal as well. Congratulations.
Number 6.
Number 6. And, you know, hopefully it's going to continue right the way through. And good luck next weekend at the World Championships.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you.
All the best. Right, what else have we got in store for you in the under 73 kilo category? We've got the special for you. Is it your day? And how could we work it out? We weren't sure whose day it was going to be.
Well, I tell you what, that was an up and down, wasn't it? I mean, so, you know, we had fighters coming out there, I mean, just upsetting the odds. The world champion went out, first of all, at 73
Let's
kilos.
see that then. Let's start with
have a look at that.
Start with the world champion. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, actually, this is him winning first off.
Yeah.
And he comes out with a beautiful technique, and he's the current world champion. So this is the, first one, and a very low 𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯 there to take his opponent over. Kind of set him up there with a 𝘰𝘭𝑗𝑰. Don't you see that very often, do you? But and then finishes it off with a really low 𝘰𝘭𝘏, drops right underneath his opponent there. And look at the 𝘰𝘭𝑗𝑰, look at the 𝘰𝑗𝑰, look at the control with the hands all the way through.
So at that point, we were lining up, well, I was anyway, a potential Georgia-Mongolia final with 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯 starting off, looking really good. there was another Georgian in there, apart from Shavdatuashvili.
𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦, you know, 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 just, well, he came out as kind of a revelation, a young boy. And, you know, that's the thing about these Grand Slams. You hold an event, you're able to put your juniors in there. They're able to fight the best in the world at those events where they normally wouldn't. They wouldn't get out of the country. So here he was fighting the world champion. And have a look what happened. Well, this is, well, he's got the arm over the back, so traditional for the Georgians, and of course then the big hips go across for the big 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦, and he couldn't stop it here. He makes the readjustment, and I think that's one of the key points here. Went back first of all, makes the readjustment with the hips. He gets a massive pulling action there with that big grip over the back there, and the Georgians so renowned for it, aren't they? And look, he tries to climb off there. He has no chance of climbing off, and the whole crowd, you can see them behind there, just erupt because he's just thrown the world champion.
Lovely shot, by the way.
Champion, yeah, just absolutely brilliant there, with everybody going out of their seats, including us.
At which point we realised it wasn't going to be Sendocha's day, but it could have been 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦. Only problem with that is he came up against Ristov a little bit later on. Ristov, by the way, threw with a fantastic 𝘬𝘬toshi. We thought it may have been 𝘬𝘬toshi in the beginning, but it was 𝘬𝘬toshi. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah, so 2 𝘬𝘬toshis. Well, with that, yeah, like you said, at first that it was 𝘬𝘬toshi, but you can see the difference here because he just skips across and springs up on that right leg as it goes across, but just set him up beautifully there. And of course, that's the difference between the 𝘬𝘬toshi and the 𝘬𝘬toshi. But wow, what an opportune moment. Just kind of skips it across, and that's the end of the Georgians' gold medal hopes.
Yep, so the mantle went to Ristov. It was his turn up until that point, but we then had Nemonov, who was coming in.
Nemonov had just the most amazing tournament, didn't he? Nemonov came out, and yeah, like we said, it just never always goes to plan, does it? And so he comes out.
Let's see what happens with Nemonov.
Doesn't quite get the full ippon, but he's definitely spoils the day and takes him down there for a 𝘬𝑰 and manages to hold on. It was kind of a 𝘬𝑰. It looked a little bit scrappy at the beginning there, but it was enough there, wasn't it? He gets the resistance certainly for that, gets the drive off the back foot, gets the score.
And then the point being that everyone who had won had ended up losing. We were left with Nemonov to see whether he could take it into the final. Only problem was he had to face Batzai, who we already saw earlier on, the Mongolian.
The Mongolian was absolutely amazing all day. And you've got to bear in mind that the Mongolian had never won an event.
Anything.
Or a medal.
How's that
any
possible?
Grand Prix, Grand Slam, we couldn't find him, could
No.
we? We couldn't find him, and we were saying all the way through the day that, you know, this is amazing what's happening here. And so any kind of medal that he got was going to be a real bonus. It was going to be points on the board for world rankings. Got through to his first final, and have a look what happened here in the final. Because
whose day was it going to be?
We're going to see the semis first, and then see how he gets through semi-final first. This was an amazing 𝘬𝘬𝑤𝑎𝑧a, and if you have a look here, I mean, he doesn't move the bottom half here. It's just the top half. And what I want you to see is how the head goes down. It almost touches the floor, but it's the kazushi and the 𝘬𝘬toshi hand there working overtime, and he absolutely piles him into the mat.
That's the Spaniard against Casas Roca.
Yeah, Casas Roca, as you know, he was on a great day as well, but I mean, he was just getting rid of everybody, and that was amazing. That took him into the final, and then this happened.
He must have been nervous.
Well, he was nervous,
time.
wasn't he? But he came out. I tell you what, that was the main question. Is he going to keep calm? Is he going to be able to, you know, is he going to bottle it? But he didn't. You know, he just, well, he scores with a 𝘬𝑰𝑗, and it was so well, he waited for it. It was in golden score, and look at that, 𝘬𝑰𝑗 there, he just takes him down. He just stayed there that little bit too often, too long, didn't he, there? And in the end, he just paid a big penalty.
I got the feeling that Namonov was spent at that point. He went in for that little uchimata, if you like. He left the leg there. He never really came out.
No. And I think you're right. I think that, you know, it was starting to dwindle a little bit, you know, and this is what I said about him, you know. I said, is he going to pick it up? Is he going to be able to have just that little bit extra to take him to the gold medal?
And Batsaya said, if you're not going to get out, I'm going to put you out.
I'm going to put you out. And he did. He said, well, if you're going to stand there for that split second, I'm going to punish. And he did.
Right, so if we were to go back and see who beat who, well, we started with 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯 winning. 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 then went down to 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦. 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 then went down to Ristov. Ristov went down to Namonov. And finally, Namonov went down to Batsaya. There is a really, really famous thing. I'm going to drop this on you. Ole Bischoff plays a game that's very, very similar to this. It's called... shouldn't really say this, but I'm not saying it, it's Ole Bischoff. It's called The Loser of the Losers. Right. And you'd have to go back to see who the first person that 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 beat. He's the loser of the losers. Everybody, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's the Kyrgyz player.
I'm sure they'll be really pleased with that.
I'll take it all back. Right, we've got one more weight category. It's the under 70 kilo category. Sanne van Dijk of the Netherlands started as the #1 seed. She ended up on the podium, but not in the #1 spot, because it was 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 𝘚𝘤𝘰. Not the first time that she's been on the number 1 spot, but I don't think it's looked as good as this. This was a great performance from her.
It was a great performance, and she kept cool, didn't she? And 𝘚𝘤𝘰, you know, just piled on the pressure. And like I say, she's been one of the most consistent. I actually said this morning, I said 𝘚𝘤𝘰 has been consistent. She's been in the last, I think, 3-4 or major medal matches, if not finals, and this was the second gold medal that she'd won at a major event. Not
to take it away from Sanne van Dijk, because she was looking good, and in the semi-final, she came up with a really powerful hip on against Kelly Peterson-Pollard of Great Britain. I think we've got that lined up here. Well, I hope we have anyway, or else I've caught her director off.
Yeah, this is beautiful 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦, wasn't it? I mean, it was so low, and well, 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 is what the Kota can classify it as, because it drives downwards. But it was the actual centralisation of her body right the way between the legs there, and look at the turn, the rotation, and the control with the hands. Beautifully taken there by Van Dijk, and she must have come into the final thinking, I've got this nailed.
Yeah, and in that final, 𝘚𝘤𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 did exactly what she should. She frustrated her a little bit, managed to take it in the end. Yeah,
I mean, she frustrated her, and in the end, yeah, her attacks were slightly better, and that won through in the end. And so credit to her. And it was if it's tactics that can win, sometimes that's the way it has to go. We want to see ippons, but it can't always happen that way.
Right, we've got one more really technical piece of action to show you. It comes from the under 81 kilo category, and it was Turaev who didn't actually make it to the final, but prior to that he came up with a really, really special piece, and we want to bring that to you now.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing, and this was a left against right situation. Let's have a look at it, see what happens here. And I'm not sure if it's going to come on.
No,
here.
we've got it.
We have definitely got it. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, it was a really special situation, because it was left to right situation, which means that you've got to be careful of the slip of the for the uchimata 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦. He wanted to do the uchimata, and what he actually does, he hooks the front leg away, and then does the uchimata as he hooks that leg away, and it's truly amazing. And if you see it quickly, it doesn't look. It looks like a normal 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘕, but it wasn't. It's okay. So let's just have a little look this, see, and I'll try and talk us through it here as he does it. So left to right there, and you've got to be careful going in full guns here. And so what he does now, that leg comes in for an uchimata. He wants that leg out the way, so what he does, and we'll see it in slow motion, he scoops it away with his left foot. So there's the foot on the floor there, the left foot of his opponent after the uchimata. Watch the foot come down onto the floor. Then he scoops it just with almost a Kosoto or a Kouchi or whichever, but he scoops that leg and then at the same time goes forward with the Uchimata leg there. It's just absolutely brilliant. Uchimata from White. White puts the foot down on the floor, the Georgian puts the foot down, he scoops it up and then continues with the whole movement there for the Uchimata. Absolute brilliance.
Yeah, that is a serious piece of skill. I think we've seen Hashimoto do something similar, apparently.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, right against left is always difficult. They had the sleeve here, so they were ready to go, both of them ready to go. That Uchimata didn't work, and Blue didn't want to fully commit for the Uchimata directly, so what he did, he scooped it out the way and then went in, and it was safe. Or safer, and that was amazing. And we're going to get a lot of the young kids, aren't we, are going to see that, and the coaches, and they're going to go, oh, we're going to train that.
Just want to say something about the gold medal winner in that weight category, 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯. That was another wonderful performance there.
First time that he's been in a major final, and first time for a Grand Slam gold medal. And I thought that he performed really steadily all the way through, didn't make any mistakes, actually. And I think that that's a really good point, is that when they don't make mistakes, it means that they're well in control.
Tough opponent, 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦𝘯 in the final, a Kazakh fighter.
Yeah, I thought he was really tough, but I thought that he beat him to the attack every single time. I thought he was just on top all the way through.
OK, that was the... Let's take a look quickly at some highlights from there.
So here we go. I mean, you know, it was going to be tough, wasn't it? And I said at the beginning here that one of them was going to go for a big score. It can go either way, can't it? Because they can feel the danger and start to tighten up. That was the actual score there from a really low 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 there. Takes him over in order to polish it off. And I think, well, he almost climbed on his back, didn't we? And we've seen that a couple of times today. So that was a great performance from 𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦, and it was enough to get him his first ever Grand Slam gold medal.
𝘎𝘰𝘭𝘥𝘦 was fairly well trained, wasn't he? He couldn't get off it.
He couldn't, absolutely.
Right, we're going to be back tomorrow with more action from the third and final day of competition at this year's Tbilisi Grand Slam. But from Neil Adams and myself, it's bye-bye from now.
Bye for now.
Couldn't break the sleeve. Oh!